Why hello everybody, welcome back to yet another video. So here's the thing, Adobe Premiere, it's great, you got lots of resources on it absolutely everywhere. Yet Film Express isn't quite the same. More to the point, it's not quite as widely used, so obviously not a lot of the information is out there straight on the point. And the thing with Film Express, or at least the way that I do it, is I often run with just straight up H.264 encoded video. Obviously you're better off using RAW because it's a lot easier to read, but it has its other issues. But here's the thing, when you start using 4K video on, Film Express, it gets a little bit choppy. So the question today is, does 4K, when you're using either a hard drive, an SSD or an NVMe SSD, see any performance increase depending on what you're using? Now, there should be, but we won't know till after the intro. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically pull up the same video file, quickly skim through it, hopefully it'll turn up on in video shadow play. If not, I'll also have the camera running in the background so you can see what I'm seeing with how choppy it is or isn't. I'm going to be using the same PC, same system, and we'll go ahead and see how it turns out there. And, we'll go ahead and get the results once they're done. But first, let's go ahead and open up some footage to edit, eh? Okay, here we are. We're going to go ahead and open up a new project. We'll just go ahead and open it up in 4K 60 frames per second. We'll open up some general video footage that I would be using anyway. So we're going to go ahead and import, and what we're actually going to do is we're going to open up a load of B-roll footage that I have lying around for when I just need some background footage. So first things first, post-process raw, hello DST, B-roll. This should be in 4K, right? Details, no it isn't, so we need something else. In that case, we'll go to unprocessed raw. This is basically the rawest form of what I actually have for usage. So we will check. Date modified. Okay. Microsoft.keylan. Properties, details. Perfect. Okay, so first we're going to go ahead and see how long this takes. I'll have to go ahead and edit around this. Okay, we're not going to actually measure how long it takes, but we can see how long it's going to take for the audio to conform. So that's basically it, getting the audio set and ready. So it's reading, and that is ready. Okay, that's good for us. So we're going to go drag it into the editor. And see how long. Alright. Playback quality, final, pause resolution, full. Okay, so this is now, it's going to be 100% reliant on how quickly it can encode and decode. Whilst we're at it, options. Render. Use hardware decoding if available. Nope. Okay. What we can actually do, let's do this and see how it likes it. So this is on our G drive. Okay, so it's scrubbing the data. It seems pretty fine. Just gonna turn that down so I don't go deaf. Audio seems fine. Running around, not too bad. And you can see quite easily up there, it's flying through. It's well over 60 frames per second up there, which is good because that's what this was recorded at. It was recorded at 60 frames per second. And we've got no noticeable chop here. So what we're going to do is we're going to exit, discard changes. We'll reopen it. We'll now change it to a temporary cache, which I have got set up. File, options, cache. This is where it's actually stored. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go to the mini archive, temporary cache, save here, select folder, mini archive, temporary cache, select here, and we'll try it again, and this time we'll be running off of a hard drive this time so we can get the biggest idea on how much of a difference there is. So 4K UHD, 60 FPS, we will open up the exact same file, so it was that one right there. Okay. Seems to already be in the cache, which is not what it was supposed to do, but okay. It should be. Running off the hard drive, but it's not running off the hard drive. Options, cache, temporary cache, D drive, auto cache, pre-render, snapshot. Or save, labels, qualities, display. This should be on the D drive. Okay, and we're back into it, and this time, hopefully it'll actually work this time. Okay, right. Import media. So obviously that was the file that we used last time, but we have now got another copy of it. Mini archive, there we go. So now this is completely on the hard drive. So as you can see, it is now running on the hard drive, which is of course going at full tilt, trying to copy it over, and of course conform all the audio for us, and we will see what kind of performance difference we get moving from the SSD back down to the hard drive as its main storage. Okay, and we are loaded in, so we'll go ahead and pull this over here. And we will go ahead and see how it is scrubbing away. So this is taxing at the hard drive. It's not too bad. But then again, this might be because it's in the cache. So we'll just scroll through here. This isn't supposed to be happening. Let's try a piece of media that shouldn't be in its cache. Sort of goes against the whole idea of this, but it's what we're going to have to do. So, game side, finished videos and projects. It's something that we haven't touched in a while. Oh, I know. XCOM 2 War of the Chosen. G2 Endgame. And we'll open this up because this shouldn't be in its cache. Right. Delete that. Throw in this, which obviously isn't in its cache. And as you can see, we are getting stutter. Yep, drops down to 19. Doesn't really like it. And if we're playing multiple media, it's, let's see. Yeah, we're getting a lot of stutter there. I mean, it is playing it to its credit, but it does get a lot of stutter, especially on the stopping and starting. So noticeably worse than the SSD. It will go back. We can go back to this, but I think we've sort of proven the point here that an SSD will make quite a huge difference in the amount of stutter that you experience, the amount of frame drops that you're getting as you're scrubbing through the footage. Because whereas before, just delete that. Whereas before we were getting a few hundred FPS whilst we were scrolling through this, we are now down to half that, which means that you are getting a considerable decrease in performance. Cancel. So what we are going to do now is exit this, and we will also test it if it is on an NVMe. It should be okay. There it is. So you can see this is on the primary system disk now. Okay, now the test. So it is going through it nice and quickly. We are getting a decently high frame rate. Yeah, so going from an SSD to a hard drive does make a small noticeable difference, and I'm sure that depending on what kind of project you do, even more strenuous ones where you have got multiple streams going at the same time, that's really when SSDs will go ahead and hold their weight in gold, because of course you're going to have much more heavy usage on your actual storage device, which is where the main benefit of using an SSD for video editing will really come in, because of course it'll be allowing you to access all of that information a lot quicker than you would otherwise be able to, even if you are getting slowdowns from either CPU, GPU, whatever. So yeah, hopefully we can go back to the studio for our conclusion. Alright, and there you go. It does, after all, make a small bit of a difference. Not so much when you're editing single streams at once, but you're editing multiple video streams, i.e. you're doing some sort of thing where you've got face cam, you've got ahead and got your footage, or you're having to throw in multiple things into a single video. That's when it really does start to shine. When you're pulling from multiple sources, having a huge amount of bandwidth is actually really helpful. You know, in cases where a hard drive would get constrained, yeah, it shows its weight in gold. Does this mean that you necessarily need one? Well, depending on what you're doing, maybe not. But it definitely does help to have one. Not to mention, having the additional storage means you've also got a dedicated drive just for keeping video files that you're working on. Yeah, it's nice to have it. It also clears up a little bit of storage elsewhere. Obviously, it's better to have your storage off the system, but if you do need it on system, this is a brilliant workaround to help work it out. So yeah, that's where we're going to go ahead and leave it for today. So like the video, like it, dislike any thoughts or questions, leave a comment down below. Don't forget to check out my Patreon, Discord, Twitch and Facebook page, all of which you can find in the description down below, along with that subscribe button and notification bell for more content from me. As always, it's the 117th con, signing off. Stay safe out there, folks. I'll catch you all in the next one. Until then, ta-ra.